And like it wasn't nothing nice about her. There's a lot of stories to assassins in the cosmos. Her galactic code is very powerful. The tribe that she descends from. So this is where a lot of her warrior energy come from. She might not even know it. You know, she might just know that she stands against oppression. But you got some people that stand against oppression, and you got some people that stand against oppression. It's the difference, you know what I'm saying? The motherfuckers that just stand against oppression, and the motherfuckers that stand against oppression. You feel me? She one of the ones that stand against oppression. You feel me? You is too. If you watching me, you watching Rashad Jamal, and I am. And the government know it. You know what I'm saying? The feds know it. CIA know it. Revolutionary poet and the feds know it. You see what I'm saying? Like I said in the song. You know what I'm saying? Black Messiah, CIA and the feds know it. Revolutionary poet sniffing dead roses. You feel me? Assata was just a flat out cold blooded gangster. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't nothing nice about her. It's a lot of stories. Like I know people. I can't say their name, but I know people that know people that used to be that was deep in with the movement of the Panthers. And believe it or not, you got a lot of people that represent that movement or that energy, and they still out here ticking. They just moving under the radar. So I'm not gonna ever say their name or put them out there like that. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you gotta respect the goddesses, the gods and the goddesses, you know, especially the ones that stand and fight for us. Assata Shakur, she landed on the ram in their year of July 16th, 1947. And you know, when you look her story up on Wikipedia, which I'll pull it up on Wiki, because I always like to read to y'all what they have to say about her, and then I like to go deep on our end, where she was really, how she was rocking and why she was rocking that way, and the spiritual connection. But yeah, if you look up, they'll tell you that she was born Joanna Deborah Byron, July 16th, 1947. After she got married, her name became Joanne Chasmart. They'll let you know that she's a former member of the Black Liberation Army, and she was convicted of first-degree murder of state trooper Werner Foster during a shootout on the New Jersey Turnpike in 1973. Shakur is wanted by the FBI. Keyword wanted, because she's still wanted to this day. Assata Shakur is wanted by the FBI, and there's a $2 million reward for her apprehension. All right, so this is some of the things they speaking of her on Wikipedia, and I'll just pause on certain little moments, and then after I read off certain little parts of Wikipedia of what they said about her, I'm gonna go a little deeper on our end from our side and what she represents and the truth, you know, about what happened in some of these cases they try to hit her with. But she was born in Queens, Flushing, Queens to be exact. Far as still being wanted by the FBI for the first degree murder of a state trooper. All right, so I want to highlight that. I want y'all to see how they was giving up. You know what I'm saying? One of her charges is the murder of a state trooper, and this is 1971, 72, 73. You know, this is a few years after they just killed Malcolm, they just killed Martin. It's tension in the country. It was on. You know, and you had the Panthers. The Panthers were standing on business, but you had certain sects that was standing on business. You know what I'm saying? Like the Panther 21, they was on a whole another, like of all the sects of the Black Panthers, they might have been the most violent and aggressive outside the Chicago chapter with Fred Hampton. That's why they killed Fred Hampton at 19. They was getting into whole shootouts with the police and killing police officers and all that. They understood who the oppressors was. They understood everything we talk about now, how we talk about, they understood the parts, how when I sit and I teach y'all about, you know, we was always warriors and we descend from tribes, we indigenous to the land. That was a big part of the Panthers doctrine. You know, so that's why Huey Newton and them, they used to go read the actual law and penal codes of every state. That's how they was able to police the police. They used to ride around and police the police, and it wasn't Huey Newton that just did that. Assata Shakur did it. They rode around and would police the police, you know, because they understood that this was our land. They understood the true reasoning of these so-called slave catchers posing as police officers, saying that they here to provide and protect. You know, what was going on then and what was going on now, as far as with the police trying to kill us and hurt us and jail us falsely and beat us, that was going on then. That's why I say this isn't no new war. That energy, they just say they use crack cocaine and drugs to cipher our energy, to take our energy away. We been on that energy, you know what I'm saying? We never was, it was always those of us that was willing to risk their avatar for the greater good. And Assata Shakur, that's what she stood for. Like they try to paint her as this thug, like that was just out here wilding it. No, she ain't never killed. She killed a lot of people, man. So Assata Shakur got a lot of bodies that son they don't even talk about, because a lot of her bodies was on police officers. You know what I'm saying? Assata Shakur had well over 20 bodies to her name. And they'll never, and it wasn't just her, I'm talking about that Panther 21. You feel me? A lot of them had 10, 15 bodies to their murders to their name on state troopers and police officers and judges and congressmen. Like they was real aggressive with them racists. That's why they came down on them so hard. But let me read a little more about what they saying. I don't want to take off on our end just yet. But it says she was born in Flushing, Queens. She grew up in New York City and Wilmington, North Carolina. All right, shout out to New York and shout out to Wilmington in North Carolina, the Carolinas. But after she ran away from home several times, her aunt would later act as one of her lawyers that took her in her cases. All right, she became involved in political activism in her teens at Borough Manhattan Community College in New York City. After her graduation, Assata Shakur joined the Black Panther Party for a minute. She briefly joined the Black Panther Party. All right, now the rumors are true.
And now the time has come. Bring back
We'll focus on that in a second. She then turned around and joined the BLA, which is the Black Liberation Army, which is different from the Black Panthers. And like I was telling y'all, that's two totally different things. We're going to get to it. Which was a loosely knit offshoot of the Black Panthers, which engaged in the struggle against the U.S. government through tactics such as robbing banks and killing police officers and drug dealers. Alright, so Assata Shakur, she goes into the Black Panthers. Now that's true when they say that part. She goes into the Black Panthers, right? And she immediately realizes what they stand for. She with it all day. But however, it was a sect. Okay, so that was the Panther 21 that Assata Shakur was a part of. Alright, she has a blood brother named Matolo Shakur, who they don't want people to know that it's her blood brother. They make it seem like that was her friend. But Matolo Shakur was Assata Shakur's actual blood brother. Alright, but Assata Shakur, this is how gangster she was. The Black Liberation Army was like the army. Was a new army they was starting to go head on with the U.S. government. Like, they already knew what it was. They knew, like, hey, if we want liberation for our people, our children, we gonna have to get aggressive with them because that's all they know. You get what I'm saying? So now the Black Panthers was the intellectual side. They was giving back to the community and they was doing a lot of teaching and spreading the word and the information. But the Black Liberation Army would be like the army of the Black Panthers. You see what I'm saying? Like they say, they went head on with the government through tactics such as robbing banks. Why? Because the banks, this gangsters of Assata Shakur, and she ended up becoming like one of the leaders of the Black Liberation Army because that's how reckless, that's how cold-blooded she was. You know what I'm saying? Like she ain't play. That's why when you look at her pictures, it's all in her eyes. She was about that. She was about that action. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? That's why when people be saying they gangsters today, now they was gangsters. You feel me? They went head on with the government. Fuck it, you know what I'm saying? Since y'all want to starve our people out and take all the money, well, nigga, we gonna get gangsters to come rob these banks and take this shit. Since y'all don't give our people no, we gonna take this shit from y'all. This our land anyway. That's the whole reason they was robbing banks. The government want to paint them out every time robbing banks. They wasn't no thugs out here robbing banks to rob. They would rob the banks and get the money back to the communities. You know what I'm saying? Spread the money throughout the communities. That's what they was doing. That's why none of them was like overly rich. You get what I'm saying? They understood like, okay, shit, if we take all these banks down, then they ain't really got no money to play with like that. That's the type of time they was on. On top of that, they understood that the police was the biggest bully protecting the law, the litigation, because the litigation is all the laws that get put in place to enslave us. So the BLA, the Black Liberation Army, was like, shit, nigga, we gonna get on them because shit, without them, shit, none of this shit don't even matter. So they went to war with the police. They started robbing banks, and then anybody that was selling drugs in the community was good as dead. You know how, because the drug dealers then thought they was tough too. That wasn't nothing new. And the BLA like, hold on, man, you selling no heroin. And you had big dealers did. You get what I'm saying? Crack hadn't hit yet, but heroin was a huge thing already, and it was already going on, and it was destroying the community. So, they start killing them. They like, shit, nigga, shit, y'all okay, y'all don't start selling these drugs, okay, we got y'all. They start slapping up on them, nailing them, killing them, kidnapping them, chopping their bodies up, dropping their ass off in sewers, throwing them off bridges. Like, they was getting down. Because, the drug dealers was like, awesome, we ain't with all that shit. Like, they looked at them and said they was some lames. Like, like today, if you come up in the hood and you trying to kick back, they like, y'all some lames. Like, oh, okay, cool. That's just how gangster it was. That would be no different than today. That's like us in university going to war with the Crips and the Bloods. Like, fuck it, nigga, y'all ain't gonna stop gang banging and hurting our communities. All right, well, we gonna start sliding on y'all. Get y'all out the way so y'all can't hurt the people no more. That's the type of time they was on. This what made her so dangerous. You get what I'm saying? You gotta think what they was doing. A lot of people don't have a clue what they was really doing. They was like, nah, they wasn't playing. They was going to war with the streets. Anybody that was trying to hurt the community in the streets, they was going to war with the police, and they was robbing banks. The three main points that the elites use to hurt us is the streets, through drugs, all right, and nowadays guns, which none of that can happen back then because you had the BLA people like that they was killing shit. You see what I'm saying? They was trying to kill us. That's why I always say, man, you want to kill each other, nigga, kill something that's trying to kill us. Fuck killing each other, man, kill something that's trying to kill us. Anything vibrating low. That's what they was on. They just wasn't saying that. They just ain't say anything vibrating low. But if your ass was selling drugs, you vibrate low. Fuck the motherfucker, they ain't care if you was black. Nigga, your ass was good as grass. You see Assata ass pull up on you, she hop out with that shotgun. It was drug dealers in the New York area, and the Virginia area, and the Baltimore area that they was going city to city with it. They wasn't playing, they pulling up niggas getting out, getting up out of there. You know what I'm saying? And they was hopping out, chasing motherfuckers down. Like, it was a lot they was doing that they don't want to put in the media to protect the community. And Assata Shakur had her hands in a lot of that. She had her hands and her feet in a lot of that. That's why when I mention her name, I be like, real life gangster. You hear me? Like, she had her hands in a lot of that. You can pull up any picture on her. Them eyes gonna say it all. She ain't gotta open her mouth. Her eyes. Some people got them eyes, but they ain't gotta open their mouth. You know what I'm saying? You just look at their soul, you know how they come in like, yeah, he don't fuck around. She don't fuck around. You know what I'm saying? She was like that, but her cause was so righteous. That's what makes it so gangster. See, gangster ain't to all the youth in university, right? Blue Christian babies. And yeah, y'all go ahead and screen record this. I know y'all always screen record, post it on YouTube. That's cool. I'm with all that because y'all in here. We a family. So I know this shit gonna hit YouTube, but like, that's what I was gonna say to youth, like, gangster is not picking up guns, killing each other, man. Like, I ain't had nobody to tell me that when I was going in, when I was in the streets. I ain't had nobody to tell me that when I had lost myself and I was trying to remember who I was. We thought it was gangster to hurt each other. No, gangster is helping your community. That's gangster. Feel me? Gangster is like, hey, I made a mistake, but I'm gonna change and become a better person. That's gangster. Nigga. That's gangster. You feel me? Not being afraid to be a mama to your mother, to your child, even if you didn't have a mama. That's gangster. Not being afraid of trying to be a father to your kids when you have them, even if you ain't had no dad or father to lead you. Breaking generational curses. That's gangster. You feel me? We know money ain't everything, but until the monetary system crashes, it's still something that's a necessity out here because these oppressors took everything from us. So being able to save your money up, pay your bills, put yourself in a position to win, giving back to your community, your team, your family, putting them in a position to win. That's gangster. You feel me? If you got youth under you, which we always want to have somebody younger than us, somebody older than us. If you got people younger than you and you lead them in the right way despite the mistakes you made, that's gangster. When you see the elderly and you respect the elders, even if they don't respect themselves or they don't respect you, it's how whatever walk off. Get them that respect first, though, always. And if you meet one of them elderly that act like they ain't got it all, just keep going because the energy gonna hit them back. The energy gonna help hit you harder, far as in a positive point, because you respecting your elders and you teaching and you respecting the youth. You feel me? That's gangster. You feel me? Picking up a gun and shooting each other. I know it feel gangster, but that's not gangster. You know what I'm saying? that's not gangster, you know, because anything y'all shooting and fighting over, that shit can be resolved. Most of the hood shit is always around some female, or nigga mad because he get more money than you, or it always start like that. Then when somebody get killed, it becomes a war forever. That ain't gangster. You feel me? What's gangster is going to war, fighting, shooting, killing, stabbing. Well, if you got to get violent for a righteous cause to help yourself, to help your species, to help your planet, to realize that while you trying to attack each other, it's a bigger bully out here that's attacking y'all as a whole. You feel me? That's gangster. You feel me? And understanding that, hey, you know what? I could leave my avatar fighting against the government. I could leave my avatar fighting against the police. Yeah, you can, but you can leave your avatar just riding down the street, your car to the store too.
Welcome to this world. You have some big shoes to fill. People will tell you what to eat.
So putting yourself in a position like, you know what? I know that when I take this lane, it's gonna come with a lot of heat. It's gonna come with a lot of pressure, a lot of tension. But this is what my planet needs. This is what my people need. And if I gotta war about that, I'm willing to do that. If it means putting my own life on the line to see the advancement of the whole, I'm willing to do that because I care about the whole more than I care about myself because I know it's bigger than myself. That's gangster. You see what I'm saying? And that's what she stood for. That's what a lot of them Panthers stood for. That's what I stand for. That's what a lot of y'all stand for. You feel me? And yeah, it's gonna be those who don't get it. It's cool. You feel me? It ain't meant for them to get it. You feel me? It's about understanding that we are under attack and being willing to do whatever it takes to meet those attackers head on. Not making excuses about why we not protecting our goddesses out here, and why we not protecting our kids, and why we not protecting our gods and protecting each other. Fuck all them excuses. Just realizing like, okay, spells was placed upon us. We fell in frequency, but now we know what's up, so we gonna move differently. That's gangster. You feel me? So I need the youth to know that, because when I'm telling you that Assata Shakur was a part of the Black Liberation Army, you need to know how they was coming. That's separate from the Black Panthers. Black Panthers was just strictly the intellectual side, which was a major part because we needed those rallies, we needed those conferences, we needed those conversations, we needed that because people need to learn. But then after you learn, motherfuckers gotta be able to protect themselves now. Because once you open your third eye to who the oppressor is and this is your land and how we need to move, you got a bully right there that don't want you to be aware of who you are. Don't want you to love yourself. He wants you to despise yourself. He wants you to put yourself down and your people down. You feel me? So that he can stay up. And he wants you to help him do that. You feel me? And he ain't the type of bully that know how to be friendly. America with 3 Ks, he don't know how to be friendly. We've came that way. We've came with hands up. We've came with hands out. We've came with hands together. You don't hear me. We've came with hands up. We've came with hands out. And we've came with hands together. And he's still killing us. He's still going to move aggressive because he fear you. So you can only try to be cool with this bully for so long before you got to get violent with him. Before you got to show him who you is and what you stand for. Right? You get what I'm saying? That's where I'm at with them. That's where we at with them. That's where they was at with them. Because you realize that it don't matter how you come. Every time we try to shake their hand, they smack our shit down and go upside our shit with a rifle. You get what I'm saying? So you can't make peace with somebody that don't know peace. How you gonna make peace with the? You can't be in the middle of the field trying to make peace and this nigga trying to shoot you, right? That's the truth about the government. That's the truth about the higher ups. We call them the elites. When we say the elites, we don't mean elite as in they're an elite group of beings. We say that they the elites of their matrix that they created. And Assata Shakur, they knew all that. So they wasn't with all the small talk. You get what I'm saying? They wasn't with all the small talk. They wasn't with that. That's why she left the Black Panthers and went into the BLA because the BLA was for those who were to get active. The Black Panthers was more for those who wanted to learn, and they were still in that process of learning. They hadn't reached that state of chaos energy within themselves yet. Assata had that chaos energy in her, so it was like I got to do something about it. You know what I'm saying? So she went and joined the BLA, which is it's still the Black Panthers, but it's like the army of the Black Panthers. So just like, you know, you got America and they got the Navy, and right, same thing like that. So now that you know who the BLA was and they had launched a whole war against the government, you'll know why they was out here killing the police. You see what I'm saying? Why they was out here robbing banks, because without that being known, then it's just like they was just some thugs running loose. And that's how they painted them in federal court. That's how they painted Assata Shakur in federal court, like a mass murderer running loose. You feel me? But we're gonna keep reading about what they gotta say. You know, I had to add my points in there. All right. So they say between 1971 and 1973, she was charged with several crimes and was the subject of a multi-state manhunt. Okay. She was standing on business. This is why they was looking for her like that. In May 1973, Shakur was arrested after being wounded in a shootout on the New Jersey Turnpike. Also involved in the shootout were New Jersey State Troopers Werner Foster and James Harper and BLA members Sundiata Coley, Malik Shakur. All right, State Trooper Harper was wounded. Zaid Shakur was killed, which is Malik Shakur, same person. Malik is his middle name. State Trooper Forrester was killed. Between 1973 and 1977, Shakur was charged with murder, attempt murder, armed robbery, bank robbery, and kidnapping in retaliation to the shootout and 6 other incidents. So she had a lot of charges. She was very active in these. Revolutionary streets. You get what I'm saying? All right, and that's just what they charged her with. I told you she had well over 20 murders, and they was all on state troopers, police officers, undercover federal agents, fucking bank managers, and they wasn't playing. You feel me? All right, so while serving a life sentence for murder, she escaped in 1979 from Clinton Correctional Facility, which is up in New Jersey. That's also, if you know anything about Pac, they had Tupac locked up in Clinton when they charged him with the sexual assault. They had him in Clinton Max. You know what I'm saying? So that's why he was rapping, talking my brothers up at Clinton Max doing they bid. Reach, his auntie had already been through that, and his mama. They was all in Clinton, and his stepdaddy, Matolo Shakur, before they put him in the feds, like they all was going through Clinton. You know what I'm saying? Because in New York, up that way, East Coast, definitely New York, you know, a lot of it, you know, you got Clinton, you got Sing Sing, you got Rikers Island, which is like the county jail and all that shit. So, you know, that Shakur name, this what I mean when I say people be trying to call Pac an agent. They like as if he don't come from a family full of motherfucking revolutionaries that was killing the police. You know what I'm saying? Like people saying that, they acting like, now if he ain't had that background, that'd be different. I can see people saying that. When people be saying that shit about Tupac, I be like, they have no clue. You saying that because he went into Hollywood and put a couple albums out. You further to realize that he never fit in Hollywood. He went in there, he tried. They let him in, they used it. He had a lot of energy. They used it, it brought him money. But they was going to kill Pac regardless. It was a situation where he was damned if he do, damned if he didn't, because Pac wasn't as gangster as his auntie and them. You know, Pac was more like Black Panther. You know what I'm saying? He was going to speak the truth because he come from that. If you could understand his stepdad, who fucking Matolo Shakur was, which I'll do a lecture on him too. And Matolo Shakur and Afeni Shakur were married. So if you can understand who the fuck Matolo Shakur was and how Afeni was giving it up intellectually, you understand already the household Pac come up in. And on top of that, Assata Shakur was his auntie. Because Assata Shakur is the brother Matolo Shakur. So that was his auntie through marriage.
Your phone will be out of storage. Clean up now. Storage full. Click clean now. Your phone runs slow because you don't have this app.
And if you could understand that, how his auntie, Assata was, because Afeni wasn't giving it up like Assata and Matolo. She was giving it up though with the intellect. But Matolo and Assata, they was stepping on shit. They was killing shit. They was robbing banks. They was kidnapping. They was on a whole other frequency. So you gotta understand that, to be honest with you, if I was Afeni Shakur, I would definitely wouldn't even have Pac. Kept him over here in the States. I would have been on my way to Cuba with Assata some goddamn with him. But they was watching Afeni so fucking hard. Right? This is why she had Pac. She was pregnant with Pac in jail because she was on trial for the Panther 21. This is all tied together into the incidents that Assata was doing. They didn't even really want. Listen. They didn't even care about Motolo, Shakur, and them like that. Even though Motolo and Shakur and them was getting busy, they wanted Assata. Assata was the motherfucker ringleader of it all. She was setting police officers up and everything, making them think she gonna give him some pussy, flirting with him. You see what I'm saying? She was straight Amazonian warrior. You get what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you gotta understand the way they was getting. A lot of them was they was using young black goddesses that was in the movement. You know, the white cops got the mother womb. So they was using that against them. They knew that. Assata was a very beautiful goddess. Ain't like she was ugly. You know what I'm saying? She was aware she was beautiful and all that. But stone cold killer though. Cause she understood her. She was moving for a purpose. It's different when you living for a purpose. It was like, it's no fear there. She understood what it was. Very, very dangerous individual, man, because of how she was giving it up. Straight Black Widow. Feel me? It was times when they was locking up other Panther members. A lot of times when they had Assata corner and she got away. Not many shootouts she had with the police and they shot up, hit up, and she get away a lot. That's why they said that it was a multi-state manhunt, and that wasn't the time when she got locked up for the goddamn shootout on the turnpike. The shootout on the turnpike is what she got convicted for. She did so much shit, she was fucking them people up. You gotta understand, she put in more work out of everybody in the BLA. She was the number one they wanted. Yeah, they wanted Motolo, they wanted everybody else, but they wanted Assata. She was the ringleader. She was the thinker. She was the executioner and a thinker. Straight assassin. Wasn't playing with them at all. She was chopping motherfuckers up the whole night. Dressing up in all type of talking about the murder game. She was playing it all the way to the T. Dressing up, looking like dudes to get away with murders. Sometimes she act drunk. All of that. Like, and she wasn't just, she was going out her way to hurt these people. You got to understand, she was hurting these people, man. You own the bank, she come in your bank, flirt with the manager. Man. Next thing you know, she meeting him out for dinner. he think he gonna get some that night. They get back to his spot. She just sliced his goddamn neck. She just shot him point blank range in the head. Like, she wasn't playing. Did the same thing with drug dealers. I know it was one incident where she cut a drug dealer penis off. Like, she was going all the way out. She was wanted. She was feared. They feared her. They feared her. They feared her. That's what you gotta know. She struck fear into their souls. And as we keep going on with this lecture, you're gonna see how much fear she struck. See, they don't play her story like that. But to this day, she's still the most wanted though. It ain't just because she escaped. Yeah. But look, let's go down here to some of the charges, alright? They say, in 1971, Shakur was allegedly involved in several incidents of assault and robbery in which he was charged or identified or wanted for questioning. Okay? So you got to think, they ain't always, charges ain't always stick, but her name was coming up in everything. Everything that was going on, her name was coming up in it, somehow, some way. You get what I'm saying? Drug dealer, car get blown up, her name comes up in as a suspect. You know what I'm saying? A bank get robbed, her name comes up. State officer killed, officer shot several times, her name coming up. You see what I'm saying? So that's how the FBI was starting to put two and two together. Like, why is her name always appearing at these goddamn scenes? So they was able to string everything together. Like, oh shit. We looking at the males in the Black Liberation Army. She's the motherfucking assassin. She going on all the hits. She was on all the hits, all the bank robberies. Like, you get what I'm saying? It was different with her. She took it all the way to heart. It wasn't no half. When she went into that Black Liberation Army, she changed. Even the people that grew up with her, they was like, man, that was a different energy, because she had made her mind up. And like, if you know anything about our this divine energy, they are the natural warriors anyway. So when they get on it, it's different. It's different. You know what I'm saying? We war, but they war even with more, because they got more. They bring it more of the feminine energy, more of the emotion, if you want to call it that. But that energy, that it factor that we like to disguise as emotion, they bring all of that. So it's more personal with them. Especially when a goddess know her purpose and who she is, as far as from a universal standpoint. You know, the Black Panthers was close to the Nation of Islam, so they was well aware. They was well aware of the teachings of Malcolm, and they was fucking with all of that. Remember, this was all going on around the same time. You know, like I said, everybody ain't lay down when King got killed and Malcolm got killed. Now, some motherfuckers took that personally and really started stepping harder, and they was one of them. That Liberation Army was one of them.
Your phone will be out of storage. Clean up now. Your phone runs slow.
Them Black Peace Stones in Chicago was one of them, Latin Kings and Crips and Bloods. A lot of organizations like that, the government feared, because they had young gods and goddesses that was willing to go to war with them and shoot back and fight back. So they had to dismantle those groups and turn, and that's why your modern day gangs come from. You feel me? If the BLA would have stayed active, it would have been a goddamn evolved to a goddamn gang. You see what I'm saying? Because the way the feds would have had their way with the motherfucker, but they couldn't. You know what I'm saying? But on April 6, 1971, Shakur was shot in the stomach in a struggle with a guest at the Hilton Hotel in Midtown Manhattan. According to the police, Shakur knocked on the door of a guest room, asked if there a party going on in here, then displayed a revolver and demanded money. You see how she was coming? Go to the Hilton, robbing these rich white motherfuckers. Knock on the door, acting like. So you gotta think, if she go to the door, knock on the door, telling me there's a party going on here, how you think she was dressed? How you think she was dressed to get them to even open the door? Like some lost black bitch out here in the streets trying to go to some party and give us some pussy. You see the game she was playing? You know, she came there sexy on their ass, like a goddess would look when she's going to a party. She could have a little leg out, a little thigh out, have her little May, everything on, look clutch. You see how the extent she was going to get shit done? Made they goofy ass open the door. Now, if you think she would have popped up with a shotgun in her Black Panther shit, you think they would have opened the door? Hell fucking no. See, you gotta know how to read between the lines. They ain't gonna put all that in there. They just gonna say, hey, you know, in one incident, she went to the Hilton. You feel me? But this how she was moving. She was booked on charges of attempt robbery, felonious assaults, reckless endangerments, and possession of deadly weapons, and released on bail several times. Shakur's alleged to have said that she was glad that she had been shot afterwards because she was no longer afraid to be shot again. If they said after she got shot that time doing that robbery, she was good. She like, oh, okay. I'm glad I got shot. I know how I feel now. Now that fear gone. And she turned it up another notch. That's when she went to the next level. You see what I'm saying? And that's when she started really stepping on business. Like, but they say following the August 23rd, 1971 bank robbery in Queens, she was soft for questioning. You know what I'm saying? She was wearing all type of disguises. That's where Set It Off come from. The whole Set It Off story is basically about fucking Assata Shakur. All four of them was Assata Shakur in one. You see what I'm saying? The whole, how they went about it, how they played it, Cleo, like, that's like Assata Shakur watered down. That's why I say, you don't really understand who Assata Shakur was, and how she was terrorizing these white folks. She was going harder than anybody in the Black Liberation Army, including Matolo Shakur, who was basically deemed the leader of the whole Black BLA. She was going harder than him. She got way more charges than all them. You know what I'm saying? You gotta look at her run. She had a 10-year run of straight mayhem, but for a righteous cause though. Her cause was righteous. It ain't like she was just out here to be doing something. She wasn't hurting our people. She wasn't on none of that. She was on straight protective planet energy, and they couldn't do nothing with her. Think about this. If they could do something with her, you don't think they tried to kill her? They tried to kill her several times, couldn't do nothing with her. Nothing with her. Several times they tried to kill her. They couldn't do nothing with her. Because you know how the police give it up. They gonna kill your ass over a little bit of nothing. And when you start shooting and killing cops, fuck going to jail, they gonna definitely kill you. So they was trying, they couldn't fuck with her. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like her aim. It was a lot about her. She was said the rumor that she'll use bow and arrows, she'll machetes, knives, guns. She could fight. She was good with her hands and her feet, the whole nine. You see what I'm saying? They leave all that out. They leave all that out. Several stories of them shooting at Assata Shakur, no bullets hitting her. That ain't be the first time we heard that. We heard that also too with Queen Annie. We heard the same thing about Marie Laveau. And we go about a million stories of guys and goddesses being able to somehow bullets ain't penetrating them and hitting them. She got shot before. She actually got shot twice. She got shot the first time in the stomach. The second time she got shot was in a different shootout. She had so many fucking shootouts, so it's easy to get lost. She had a lot of shootouts, but in one of the shootouts, she got on the one on the turnpike where she killed the state trooper. She killed the state trooper. It's a car full of guys she got pulled over with. It was 3 of them. One ended up dead. The other one went to jail and they locked her up for the murder, but they ain't hit it. She the one that squeezed the trigger. They ended up in a shootout with 2 state troopers. Who you think
Booking.com helps you find your perfect place.
And she got shot. Once at each arm and once in the shoulder. They shot her 3 times. And she still killed dude. Because they shot first. The state trooper shot first. Feel me? Let's talk about how many cases she had, alright? Got a lot of them, you know what I'm saying? But let's just talk about the ones they talk about. Okay. I'll name them all. Attempted armed robbery at Hilton Hotel, bank robbery in Queens on August 23rd, 1971, a separate bank robbery in the Bronx. She was charged with conspiracy robbery and assault with a deadly weapon, September 1st, 1972. She kidnapped James E. Freeman. He owned the bank in December 28th, 1972. She killed Richard Nelson. All right, Richard Nelson was a police officer. All right, she attempted to kill 2 other police officers, Michael O'Reilly and Roy Pauline, on January 23rd, 1973. And then she had a turnpike shootout, May 2nd, 1973. First-degree murder, second-degree murder, atrocious assault and battery against a police officer, assault with a dangerous weapon, assault with intent to kill, illegal possession of a weapon, and armed robbery. I just named out 7 different charges that she went through, and them just the ones they gonna name. She had more than that. In the turnpike incident that got her convicted, she already had several warrants. She had already been brought up in several murder investigations, several shootouts, several bank robberies, armed robberies, kidnapping, all of that. Like, that was the last event for her. The turnpike shootout. That's what she's kind of famous for, because that's what she's known for. She got convicted for the murder for that. But guess what? The state troopers, the government, the CIA and the FBI was following them so hard. They wanted Assata Shakur so bad. When the state troopers got on the turnpike, they knew exactly what car they was in. You see what I'm saying? They pulled them over. When they pulled them over, Assata Shakur already knew what it was. The state trooper comes to the car, don't even let them get out the car. Walks up to the car and starts shooting into the car. That's how Zaid Shakur got killed. Because he was closest to the door. State trooper shoot him all in the face. He fall out the car. Assata get out the other car and start blowing back at the state troopers. She shot one and killed the other one. The other person that was with her was a driver. He didn't even do shit. He was a driver. The whole reason they pulled him over was to get Assata Shakur. Actually killed him. And if you go read her book, she speaks about this. She be like, man, go read her book, Assata. She be like, man, shit, they shot first. But the only thing they could say she was wrong on was robbing banks. But to me, she wasn't, because she was robbing banks on some Robin Hood shit. She understood the economic system and that this was our land. Y'all owe us. Fuck, we gotta pay for anything for. All right, we'll take this shit then. You got us fucked up. That's the energy she was on. It's our land anyway. That's what she was on with the robbing banks. Killing the drug dealer, she wasn't wrong for that. Because she like, you ain't finna be selling no drugs. Y'all ain't finna be selling no drugs or not doing no negative activity in the community. You tripping. I'll war with them, not each other. Oh, y'all want to hurt us? Okay, well, we gonna get y'all out the way too. And when it came to the police and the government, it was flat out war with them because she already knew what time it was. They came to the car to kill her, still couldn't kill her. One of them ended up dead. Another one ended up shot. Yeah, she got shot 3 times and got locked up because when she got shot, she passed out. So they was able to eventually lock her up. You know, that's how she ended up going to court for them other cases, which she beat most of them because they found her guilty on the murder. Now, when they found Assata Shakur guilty on the murder, you feel me? When they found her guilty on the murder, this is where the story gets even more gangster. They found her guilty on the murder, give her life. She break out and go to Cuba on that goofy ass. And I already know the route she took to get out of the United States. To me, it's just common sense. If she went to Cuba and she's up in New York, that means she drove all the way down to the Florida Keys. That's the furthest you can go. Florida Keys take you down to Cuba. Once you get to Florida Keys, that you still on land in the U.S. But once you get to Florida Keys, you're only 90 miles away from Cuba. You got to put some jet skis to get there, or have a little boat waiting for you. So that would be the smartest thing for her to do. I can't see her hopping in a boat, riding through the Atlantic Ocean, going all the way. That's the long way you hide. You risk it getting seen and caught in international waters quickly. She went right down to Florida Keys, drove from Florida Keys, all the way to Florida Keys, got to Florida Keys, 90 miles, that's about 2 hours across the ocean. Could have hopped on any banana boat and did that, you know what I'm saying? Boom, when she get to Cuba, they gave her political asylum. Now, they put on the FBI's most wanted list, right then and there. From that point on, anybody with a Shakur name was on the FBI watch list. This is why I say Pop, he never had a chance. Afeni was watched, even though they locked Matolo up, they killed other Panther 21 members. Even long after they got rid of all the Panthers, they were still watching the Shakur family. They were still watching them all them years. Because they couldn't understand how this little bitty old black goddess defeated them. She killed so many police officers, robbed so many but she did so much they could never let the American public know what she just did over here like that. And this was recently in the 70s. She was tearing the people off. You see in 73 in 73 they say January 2nd she killed Richard Nelson. Then turned around and shot 2 officers 20 days later, January 23rd. 2 attempt murders on 2 different officers, that's 20 days later. By May, she on the turnpike shootout. That's all in the same year. That's just 73 alone. Now, if you document what she was doing from 1963 all the way up to 72, you feel what I'm saying? She was overly active. That's why I say, I really don't think people understand who the fuck Assata Shakur really was and what she did, because they hide it. They put her in the list of, you don't really know, because they don't really, even on Wiki, they're not telling you, I'm filling in gaps for you. They're not going to tell you all that on there. But they feared her, man. They didn't fear nobody else. They didn't even fear Huey in them. They killed Huey. And he helped start the Black Panthers. They couldn't kill Assata though. That's how divinely protected she is. She come from a very powerful galactic tribe. That's what I said. She might not even know that. I'm aware of that though. That's why she had that type of divine protection with her. Everybody don't have that. But when you show the spiritual realms and the ancestors and the source that sent you and these divine cosmic forces that you understand that death ain't real and you willing to leave your avatar for the greater good to fight in this fight of good versus evil, high vibration versus low vibration, you more than protected. Ain't shit they could do with you. You might think, you might worry, that's natural. But you gonna be protected on a different type of level. And the lifestyle she lived over here, she supposed to be. Even Malcolm ain't do what she did to them. Nobody did to them what she did to them. Martin Luther King, Malcolm, Marcus Garvey, they was telling facts and they was hurting them that way, yeah. But Assata was actually going to kill these motherfuckers. See what I'm saying? And they couldn't even kill her. And they tried several times. All them shootouts she had with the police and never got killed. But a lot of times other people would get shot and killed. That was part of the Panthers or part of the liberation, but not her. Even in that turnpike shootout, somebody got killed. But she didn't. You see what I'm saying? And they pulled them over just to kill her. It was a green light on her. Any cop, state trooper killed her, they wasn't going to jail. She was overly wanted by them people. And then she flees to Cuba, right? They put on the FBI's most wanted list in the 1980s. Now let me show you how much they fear Assata. 2013, they upgraded her. They take her from FBI's most wanted to she's on the FBI's most wanted terrorist list, which is a totally different thing. Look, I could go to it. Let's go to it. She's in 2013, y'all. They put her on the FBI's most wanted terrorist list. You hear me? That's how much they fear her. Listen, you don't understand. Let me help y'all out. We're gonna go into it. She is on the FBI's most wanted terrorist list, y'all. And they just added her on there in 2013. She was on the FBI most wanted list. She is the only, hold on. She is the only goddess or woman in general on the FBI was one of the terrorist list. When you look on that list, all you're gonna see is Iraqis. When you look at what they wanted for, they didn't like committed. Like they didn't blow up U.S. embassies and shit like that. She's on the FBI's most wanted terrorist list. And she's the only woman on there, only goddess on there too. And everybody else on there is Iraqis. She's the only American on that motherfucker. And they just added her in 2013. That's how much they fear her, man. She's 74 today and she's getting upgraded. Now check this out. They made several attempts to get Cuba to turn her over. Cuba like, hell no. Cuba never turned her over and never will. They've made several. Check this out. In 97, the superintendent of New Jersey State Police wrote a letter to Pope John Paul asking him to raise the issue of Shakur's extradition during his talks with the president of Cuba, Fidel Castro. All right, this is 97. Now check this out. In an open letter to Fidel Castro, chair of the Congressional Black Caucus, Representative Maxine Waters of California later explained that many members of the caucus were against Shakur's extradition, but had mistakenly voted for the bill, okay? Which was placed on the accelerated suspension calendar, generally reserved for non-controversial legislation. In the letter, Waters explained her opposition, calling COINTELPRO illegal, clandestine political persecution. This is what Cuba said about America, because they've been using COINTELPRO still to this motherfucking day. All right? Check this out. On May 2nd, 2005, the 32nd anniversary of the Turnpike shooting, the FBI classified Shakur as a domestic terrorist and increased the reward an extra $1 million. All right, this is a 2005, y'all. This is how bad they want him. All right, now check this out.
Ski and ride 1 to 7 flexible days with Epic Day Pass from just $80 a day.
Peace, love, and light. Peace, love, and light.
In 2013, the FBI announced that it had added Shakur to its list of most wanted terrorists. Y'all need to go look at that list. Look up domestic FBI's most wanted domestic terrorists and look at the fucking faces on there. And you gonna scroll down and you gonna see she the only black face on there. She stand out so big because there ain't nobody else black or white. Or any women at all. Now you like, damn, if she's 74 in 2022, that means in 2012, was she 64? And y'all upgraded her to America's most wanted terrorist? Why y'all fear her so much? That's what you should be asking yourself. At this point, you would think they'd be like, all right, whatever, just let her die of old age. Why y'all fear her so much? See what I'm saying? That's how dangerous she is, man. This is what I'm trying to get y'all to see. They used to have snipers trying to take everything. None of it worked. And they don't want the public to know that. They done shot at her before, and sometimes she didn't get hit. This is what I'm trying to say. It was a couple times she got hit, but a lot of times they shot at her ass, she didn't get hit. And they don't know how. They tried to kill her so many times before they even got to the Turnpike situation. You would think by now, they like, she been gone all them years, and let her. They still upgrade, they still want her. What does that say about her? And once again, niggas want to call Tupac an agent. You crazy? He was good as dead regardless. Look who his auntie is, man. And it's that daddy. Matolo Shakur and Assata Shakur. True motherfucking revolutionaries right there. You talking about the stepper of the steppers. Well, Assata, man, they better put some respect on that name. Well, that's a lot of weight up on that name now. You feel me? And if it wasn't, if what I'm telling you was a lie, they wouldn't want her so bad. And they can't do nothing with it. They ain't gonna never get. I don't know why they still trying. They locked her up for murder. She escaped Clinton. Nobody does that. Niggas don't even escape. She escaped. And remember, when she escaped, she was still wounded. She still had a gunshot wound in both arm and her shoulder. How the fuck she get away? Who helped her get away? Them ancestors, man. Them forces with her, man. Them forces. You hear me? Them forces. Them forces, man. You see the candle flickering? When I said that, them forces. Them forces, man. When them forces with you, who can be against you? What can be against you? Nothing. Now check this out. You think she wasn't the shit? You know how recently they've been trying to get her? As of 2017. In June 2017, President Donald Trump gave a speech canceling the Cuban thought policies of his predecessor, Barack Obama. A condition of making a new deal between the United States and Cuba and the release of political prisoners and the return of fugitives from justice. Trump specifically called for the return of the cop killer Joanne Chestnut. This 2017. It's recent. That's how bad she is. Donald Trump just asked for her return specifically in 2017 from Cuba. Assata Shakur. I'm trying to tell you, man. You think they gonna want her that bad over one murder? Man, she had over 20 murders on these police officers. Man, they was all police officers and state troopers and FBI agents and all the banks she was robbing and killing motherfuckers, kidnapping motherfuckers, giving all the money. She wasn't playing. And they don't want to talk about her like that, man. Talk about a real life revolutionary, real life gangster, real stepper that's still ticking to this day. Now she in Cuba. You know she tapped into the voodoo and everything over there. You know that. That's another reason why they can't do nothing with her. Because when she got over there, she started getting into Santeria and dealing with the old Orishas and dealing with magic and dealing with... It's a wrap. From that point, you ain't fucking with her at all now. Your best chance is when she's over here. You would think that would be a movie. They'll never make a movie about her. And if they do, they're going to try to water it down. Assata Shakur, man, real revolutionary. This the energy we got to be on. Well, I want to highlight our story like, well, you don't get no more gangster than Assata Shakur. Not recently. Ain't nobody stepped like that in no recent time. She was just doing this in the 60s and the 70s. Like I said, I got a number of respect for my brother Malcolm, Martin, everybody that was giving it up. I got a number of respect for all of them. But if I'm gonna be honest, nobody was going harder than Assata because she was really killing shit, man. You feel me? That's why they upgraded her to a terrorist. See what I'm saying? And they still asking about her as recently as 2017. And the reward for her right now is $2 million. Right now, today. She's at the top of the FBI's most wanted terrorist list. The top. Now you ask yourself, what the fuck she was doing to make the terrorist list, let alone get to the top? Because she's still getting active over there in Cuba, man. That's what I'm hitting at. You don't get upgraded. They put on the FBI list at 84. So that's 94, 2004, 2014. 30 years later, you upgraded a terrorist? How? Where the upgrade come from? She got to be doing something. See what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? And then you wonder why we burn this black candle. Because certain names, when you talk about them, man, it ruffle the feathers of them people. But we the last generation, so it don't matter now. And I'm pretty sure she know that. I won't be surprised if she don't be watching my goddamn lectures on YouTube. Just like the CIA watch. Like, damn, we can't fuck with Rashad Jamal. He giving us them vibes. We want to, but we can't. We can't fuck with him. Shit, they came to our crib. We was gone. They know. They like, oh shit, they wasn't even there. And they ain't gonna never come while we here. Them forces with us. Them forces. The intent pure. That's why I tell you, move with no fear. She's an example of how the energy act when you move with no fear.
Potato. Perfectly imperfect sculpture. Bumpy and lumpy.
Love and light.
They want to know the source of her power. No fear. That was the source. No fear in having a purpose. It's fact. And when she put her book out, this how cold she is. She still, in her book Assata, she told a lot of details, but she didn't tell their ass how the fuck she broke out of that prison. She smart as hell. I peeped that. Assata, if you watching, that was smart as hell. Cause you know, most motherfuckers like, well, I got away, so fuck it. I might as well write my book and let their ass know who helped me get away and how I got away. She didn't tell their ass shit. They still don't know how the fuck she got away. And she didn't tell them how she got away in her book. She just said she got out. She got away. You're not breaking out of no prison like that and getting away and not getting caught unless some forces behind you. When you see people break out, which is rare, it happens sometimes, but they get their ass caught not that much longer later. But they fear that energy in the community. They want to make an example out of her and never got a chance to do it. So they hot when it comes to her. But when we move with them forces, we are divinely protected. They got it. And just like this candle burning, it's our land, it's our planet, it's coming back to us. We are divinely protected. There's nothing they can do with us. We can't be fucked with, none of us. And now you got a generation of Assatas. It ain't just one no more. That warrior energy back on the planet. No fear, purpose. Going the distance about our people and our planet. But with that being said, I'll see y'all in class Saturday. We're gonna be back here Saturday. We gonna do something. All right, so replay this lecture back. Let it soak in your soul, man. Spread the real information about Assata Shakur, man. True galactic force, true spiritual assassin. See, for her to be that protected, that's when spiritual forces got to be at play. That's how you know when spiritual forces at work. I mean, she got some high forces working with her to be that protected. Yes. The spiritual realm overrides the physical realm any day. The whole physical realm can want to kill you. But when you working in your divine purpose, you got cosmic forces that's gonna step in. Shit, you'll be sitting right there in front of her, they won't even see you. Peace to the gods and goddesses of the planet Kai. I leave as I come. Now we rise. One.